Have you ever looked at someone and thought, they seem completely fine, but secretly they're struggling every single time food is involved? That's the terrifying thing about eating disorders. They don't always look obvious. Sometimes the person suffering is smiling, going to school, posting online, laughing with friends, and absolutely nobody notices what's actually happening behind the scenes. When people hear the words eating disorder, they usually imagine the same stereotype. But the reality is much more complicated than that. Millions of people struggle with unhealthy relationships with food, including men, women, teenagers, and even children. And some disorders are so hidden that people can live with them for years without realizing something is wrong. So today, let's talk about 6 eating disorders that deserve more awareness. And trust me, a few of these may surprise you. 1. Avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. This disorder isn't about wanting to lose weight. People with ARFID often avoid food because certain textures, smells, or even appearances make them deeply uncomfortable. To someone else, it may look like picky eating, but for the person experiencing it, eating can feel stressful, overwhelming, or even frightening. Some begin avoiding social situations entirely because they don't want people questioning their eating habits. Imagine being anxious every time food is placed in front of you. That's exhausting. 2. Anorexia nervosa. This is probably the most recognized eating disorder. People with anorexia often become obsessed with body image and controlling calories, but it's not just about appearance. For many people, it becomes tied to perfectionism, fear, control, and self-worth. Even when their health is declining, they may still feel like they're not good enough. And that's what makes it so dangerous. According to health studies in America, anorexia has one of the highest mortality rates among mental health disorders. That alone shows how serious this really is. 3. Bulimia nervosa. Bulimia usually involves cycles of overeating, followed by purging behaviors. And from the outside, you might never notice it. Many people with bulimia appear completely normal physically, which is why it often stays hidden for years. A person may promise themselves, "This is the last time," and then repeat the same cycle again the next day. Not because they're weak, because mental disorders are not solved with willpower. 4. Binge eating disorder. This disorder is often misunderstood. People with binge eating disorder consume large amounts of food in a short period of time, usually while feeling emotionally overwhelmed. Stress, loneliness, shame, emotional emptiness. Food becomes comfort for a moment, and guilt immediately follows afterward. 5. Pica. Now this one sounds unbelievable, but it's real. Pica is a disorder where people repeatedly eat things that are not food. Paper, hair, soap, ice, chalk. Researchers still don't fully understand why this happens, but it's often linked to stress, developmental conditions, or nutritional deficiencies. And yes, it can become extremely dangerous if untreated. According to reports in the United States, millions of people struggle with eating-related mental health conditions every year, and many never seek help because they fear judgment. So if you or someone you know relates to any of these signs, please remember this: struggling silently does not make you weak, and healing is possible. Awareness matters because the more openly we understand these disorders, the easier it becomes for people to ask for help without shame. If this video taught you something new, share it with someone else. You never know who might need to hear it.